I spent 8 years playing the role of the invisible chef for my husband's family. Every Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter followed the exact same script. The second we walked through the door, my mother-in-law would hand me an apron like it was a royal decree. While the rest of the family settled into the living room with wine and football, I was banished to the kitchen. I didn't mind at first because I love to cook. But it wasn't just about the work, it was the commentary. If I reached for the garlic or paprika, my mother-in-law would physically block the cabinet. She'd say they liked to actually taste the food, followed by a room full of laughter from the living room. They called my family's traditional recipes too ethnic or too much. They even scraped the seasoning off my grandmother's mac and cheese recipe. I was the default cook, the default cleaner, and the default target for their passive-aggressive jabs. My sister-in-law would walk in just to hand me her dirty plate without making eye contact. She'd tell me I was just so good at this stuff before disappearing back to the couch. My husband always gave me the same excuse. They don't mean it like that, it's just one more year. But last Christmas was the breaking point. I spent 14 hours making a feast from scratch. I made turkey, ham, greens, and 3 different types of pie. When everyone sat down, his mother raised her glass for a toast. She announced to the table that she had to watch me like a hawk, or the meal would have been inedible. The whole table laughed. Even my husband offered nothing but a weak, apologetic shrug. I smiled, finished the meal, and made a silent vow on the drive home. Never again. This Thanksgiving we walked in, and I headed straight for the couch. My mother-in-law froze, waiting for me to take my post in the kitchen. When I told her I wasn't cooking this year, the room went silent. Watching them try to navigate a kitchen was like watching a slow-motion disaster. The turkey was burnt yet raw. The gravy was a lumpy gray paste. The mashed potatoes were gluey. Every 5 minutes, someone looked at me, pleading with their eyes for me to save them. I just sat there and enjoyed my drink. Finally, his mother snapped. She stormed out, covered in grease, and called me petty and lazy. She told me I was ruining the holiday. I simply asked why she'd want my dangerous cooking anyway. That's when the mask fully slipped. She hurled a comment so laced with prejudice and hate that the air left the room. She told me I couldn't even bring a watermelon for my people. My husband finally stood up. He didn't argue or make excuses this time. He just grabbed my hand and told them we were leaving and never coming back. We had takeout on our own couch that night. It was the best Thanksgiving meal I've had in 8 years.